high stakes. Hi, I'm Ian Roofe and welcome to Get Gardening, and today we're looking at staking perennials. And we're back here of course at East Ruston on this glorious spring day. We're in the Diamond Jubilee walled garden, and in this particular part of the garden we've got lots of herbaceous plants which are going to need some type of support, and it's something you really want to put in place at an early stage of the plant's growth. I know it's easy for me to say because I've got a bit more time to think about these things, but we've all done it where we've suddenly found something in the border later on that suddenly shot up to a flower spike and it sort of lurched its way over and it's falling on other things in the border, or it's just sort of made the plant splay open and look unsightly. So a bit of care and a bit of attention now to the plant will mean that later in the season they're all kept upright and looking wonderful. Now here we've got some delphiniums, and it's quite a good plant to look at in terms of staking because they may look quite small at the moment with their nice sort of crowns of lovely fresh green leaf, but it won't be long before they shoot up and produce wonderful spires about 6 to 7 feet in height. And as sheltered as you might think it is in this garden, the wind does sometimes come in and whip them about. So we're going to look at ways in which we can stake them. Now the methods I'm going to look at for staking the delphiniums will work for many other things. And there are a few options available. If you want to, you can get your local blacksmith to make you something, to make you some type of ornate support, and it might just be some metal poles that go in that you can lace some cord round, and we'll look at that. You can buy pre-made supports off the shelf, as it were, from garden centres or from mail order companies, and these are a bit small for delphiniums, but they are suited to other perennials, and all we have to do is just push them down into the plant at an early stage, and these stems will come through, and it won't make the plant look trussed up. You don't want the thing to look like it's been sort of strapped into some sort of horticultural girdle, but you want it just to be gently cushioned so that the stems still have a bit of movement, but it doesn't just splay open. And supports like this are really good and relatively inexpensive to buy, or if you can get some metal work yourself, you can actually bend them and sculpt them yourselves quite easily. So they are particularly good. These are another option. These are actually bamboo hoops that we get in with roses, and once the roses have gone in the garden we have these available, but these are also available from garden centres and nurseries, and these are quite good for putting in, push that like so, just to give a bit of support around the crown of the plant like so. So all we're doing is just making sure that the main body of the plant is supported. And if we want to, we could also maybe lace some string across the top. I think for me, the important thing about supporting perennials is that you put it in early, so at a later date it can't be seen. Nobody wants to see the gubbins that are involved in this. And also it should try and be used out of materials that are as natural as possible. Now in previous years, my dear old dad has used baler twine at home, bright orange baler twine, and it's not the most attractive, I must confess, so use a material which blends in well. But here, for these delphiniums, we're not going to use this method because they are going to get big. We're going to use canes, good bamboo canes, which we're going to put in, and we're going to make a sort of lattice work for them to grow through. And bamboo canes are relatively inexpensive to buy. I mean, we buy them in bulk here, but you can get them from garden centres, nurseries, even car boot sales will be selling them. And they are really, really useful for the garden, for staking whatever you have available. So I'm just going to put a selection of these through this clump of delphiniums. Push them in quite nice and stout. Let's see if we've got any more. Let's have a look. We'll put an extra couple in over here and one at the back. And because we've caught the plant quite young, we're able to weave a lattice work of this sort of really strong jute cord around the top and around the sides. So I'll show you how to do this. And what we're going to do is we're going to just pull it round there like so. Then we're going to go across the top of the plant here. And because we're doing it at an early stage, can you see? This will all eventually, hopefully, disappear into the plant. But what it will mean is that if we need to, we can also move this support up the canes as the plant gets bigger, if that's something that we have to do. And hopefully, what will happen is that it will stop all these stems splaying out. Now, whether Mr. Gray will like it is a different matter, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The point is it's functional and it looks relatively natural, and it's going to do a great job in holding these plants up, because year on year I come out to find that these lovely delphiniums have got a little bit of a lean on them. But I reckon that'll work quite well. So there we are. Let's get the old snips out. Snip that off there. Should have sharpened these, I think. That'll do the job. Then we're going to just bind this off here. Simple knot, nothing fancy. Clear our string away. As you can see, it doesn't look too bad. Stems will grow through, nicely supported, good natural materials, and if we need to at a later date, we can always shorten these canes slightly, disappear into the foliage. So a few good ways we can stake our perennials, keep them upright, happy and healthy, and give us a wonderful show of delphiniums later in the year. Today we're looking at that's really stunted.